Hi, everybody. Welcome back inside the St. Louis Park Rec Center here on the Catholic Sports Network as we prepare to move to the second half of our doubleheader this evening. The Chaska Hawks taking on the Benilde St. Margaret's Red Knights. Hi, everybody. Along with Will Vanderbilt and Joe Henkes, I'm Patrick Lilia. Red Knights coming into tonight trying to rebound from last night's tough loss to Minnetonka. It was a 7-3 final, but the score not really indicative of how that game went. It was 3-3 through most of the second period. Then Minnetonka scored a pair of goals in the final 2 minutes of the second period and then added on 2 more in the third period to make it that 7-3 final. But the Red Knights definitely playing spirited, tough hockey last night. Just unfortunately not enough gas in the tank against a team with state title aspirations such as Minnetonka. We'll get things going. Blaine Warnert will take the face-off for Chaska against Dylan Hain. Chaska in the purple with the yellow and white stripes. And the face-off controlled by Warnert. He'll bring it into his own zone, get it down to Mike Koster, the leading scorer for the Hawks on the season, as Warnert with a shot high over the net. Rebound whiffed on at the open net. That was Rhett Pitlick, the second leading scorer, the leading goal scorer. Not quite the leading overall point scorer. That's Koster. With a center on the near side, past Pittick. Held in by Callahan, near the side of the net. Koster will send that one up ahead. As being knocked off there was Ethan McDonald. The Red Knights. Callahan able to dump that one in. It'll work its way around the Hawks net. Sent down to the near side. It's Pitlick with it. Pitlick will speed his way through neutral ice, except he'll fall down. Red Knights able to poke this one. Schweitzer will send this one up and through. Being played in the Chaska zone by Magnuson. Will get it back from his teammate Calvin Barrett, as Magnuson will send that one through. It'll go into the Chaska offensive zone. They'll send it around their net. It'll be played by Schweitzer. Back up to the near side, and Seamus Foley. This one chipped ahead toward Kasurek. Unfortunately, he didn't quite catch up to it, and we'll have a face-off back deep in the Red Knight zone. 15:39 to go in the first period. Chaska with a great offensive opportunity from that top line. Koster, Pitlick, that'll be a tough assignment for the Red Knights to deal with all night long. Red Knights control the face-off. They'll punch this one up toward Jet Johnson. They'll skate through center ice into the offensive zone. That's a shot that's saved by the goaltender Bach. Justin Bach, the junior. The Hawks back the other way through neutral ice. And send down in deep by Mason Kulix. Will work its way around the Red Knights net. Get into the neutral zone. This is put back the other way by Koster. Koster, a very good offensive defenseman. He comes into the game with 11 goals, 27 assists, as Koster with speed through center ice. Play his way around the net. We'll fire that one on Limesand, who makes the save. The freshman goaltender, Carson Limesand. A little bit of a tough night last night for him. But sometimes they'll say the best way to get over a tough loss is just to get right back at it, as Warnert will step into the face-off circle against Nate Schweitzer. Face-off still loose in the circle. Will poke its way toward the front as Koster fighting its way through some bodies. Rather, that's Warnert, my apologies. Back out into the neutral zone. In the offensive zone, there's a shot on goal by Foley. It's stopped and held on to by Bach. Now face-off deep in the Chaska zone. Chaska looking to push their win streak tonight to 6. Perhaps a more important game for Chaska just in terms of the Metro West standings. They trail by 5 points to these Red Knights. BSM coming in with 13 points in conference. Chaska with just 8. As Collins tied up behind the net as he battles with Magnuson. Back the other direction come the Hawks with Olmscheid. Send that one back around to Billy Bronson. We'll have a penalty coming As Bronson took a big hit behind the net. It's going to be Collins getting the penalty. Assuming that'll be for roughing, but either way it'll be a Chaska power play. Well, Chaska gets the extra man advantage for the first time. The Olmscheid taking the face-off against Hain. It's going to be a 5-minute major penalty. Oh, Chaska, this similar to how the first game in the JV actually started. Reversing direction and getting it back down to Koster. Now down low. There's a shot that's deflected wide. The Red Knights took an early 5-minute major penalty in the JV game. Were able to kill it off. And then back around to the far side where Magnuson will send it into the corner and it'll be cleared all the way down past Koster into the Chaska zone. Now Collins serving that 5-minute major for boarding. Koster will circle back. He's got Magnuson with him. It's down to Lavelle. Need to break out of their own zone. Koster will take it, dish it back to Lavelle. Lavelle through neutral ice into the offensive zone. He gets tied up by a couple of Red Knights. It'll work its way back around to Koster in front of the bench. Lavelle down to Koster. Koster's shot is deflected into the corner. Magnuson able to push it up ahead. Magnuson will get it back. He'll try to get it over to Koster, but it'll be sent all the way back down into the Chaska zone. Koster back to play it. Dish it behind him. Be Warnert. Warnert into the offensive zone. 3:25 remaining in the 5-minute major. Boarding penalty to Collins. This one blocked, trying to get it down to the near side. It's a reset. Koster with it in the neutral zone. Red Knights doing a great job of keying in on Mike Koster, not letting him set things up. These two teams met previously back on January 4th in Chaska. A 3-2 overtime win for the Red Knights. Warren with a shot. It's loose on the rebound, but saved by Limesand, held in by the Hawks. Get it back up top. There's a shot that's saved by Limesand. He's able to cover it up, and we'll have a face-off deep in the Red Knight zone with 11:59 to go in the first period. 2:45 remaining in the major penalty to Collins. Collins sent off for boarding against Billy Bronson. Warner. Warner sent that one through traffic. It's knocked down, cleared by the Red Knights. Bach out of his net to play it. Magnuson will play it behind his own net for Chaska. Into the offensive zone with Lavelle. We'll have a stoppage of play. The puck went out of play, and we'll have a face-off deep in the Red Knight zone with 11:36 to go in the first period. Olmscheid taking the face-off. Chaska will control Koster back on the ice. He'll take it back. Lavelle getting it back. He'll work his way toward the middle. Centering feed. Still loose and eventually poked wide. Lavelle gets it back. Throws that one toward the net. It's loose. And play finally blown dead as Limesand able to cover it up. Chaska putting on some offensive pressure here in this latter half of the 5-minute major power play. We'll have a face-off with 11:17 to go in the first period. No score. Warnert will take the face-off for Chaska. They'll control in their offensive zone. Circling, gets it back up to Koster. It's thrown toward the net. That goes high off over the net, off the glass on the shot by Koster. And as Chaska almost able to into the offensive zone with speed as Newhouse. Newhouse, the shot stopped by Bach. Rebound Comes around out front. Now here's a long pass into the offensive zone. They come in onside. They'll play it back around as Pitlick trying to whack at that centering attempt, and we'll have a face-off deep in the Red Knight zone with 10:47 to go in the first period. This Friday night from the St. Louis Park Rec Center. You know, this exciting Metro West matchup. Face-off loose in the circle. Red Knights controlling it. They'll bank it out to neutral ice. We're going to say it must have gone out of play. And we'll bring it back into the, did end up in the stands. And we'll have a face-off back in the Red Knight zone. Not quite what they were looking for there. 10:39 to go in the first period. 1:26 remaining in the Chaska power play. Face-off loose in the circle still. Now it pokes its way out. Warner into traffic. It's blocked. It's loose out front. Limezan trying to get on it. Couldn't do it, but the Red Knights come away with it. Magnuson able to get in the way of that clear attempt, and now it is poked back out to neutral ice. Quickly over to Lavelle on the near side. And they're going to call offside there. And we'll have a face-off back outside the Red Knight zone with 10:20 to go in the first period. 1:07 remaining in the power play for the Hawks. BSM coming into last night with an 82.9 penalty kill. Red Knights able to poke this one into the Chaska zone. Here's Warner now along the near side into the offensive zone. Warner trying to get that one to Limezan. That gets through to him. He's able to knock it down. Pokes it back down into the corner. Pitlick with it tied up in the corner. Got Clark down there with him. The Hawks able to poke their way out with it. Lavelle circling. That one's center, but there was nobody there for Chaska. It's sent out to neutral ice. So that's one of the things that you're going to see with this Chaska team. They have a lot of speed. They've exhibited it quite a bit early on as Newhouse with it for the Red Knights. Send this one down in deep. Chaska perhaps one last rush on this power play. 15 seconds remaining. They get it down to the near side to Barnett. Barrett trying to serve. Barrett working his way in. Limezan pokes it away with the stick. Koster gets it back up toward Magnuson. Power play over. Collins back on. The Red Knights kill off the 5-minute major penalty. Play continuing up in the far corner. With that one able to be poked through, trying to spring Hain, but it was just out of his reach, and it'll go in on Bach, and he'll cover it up. 8:59 to go in the first period, no score. Both teams back at full strength. Red Knights able to kill off the 5-minute major boarding penalty to Collins. Chaska coming into tonight 12-6-0. Red Knights an even 10-10-1. Floated down through the neutral zone. Be held into the offensive zone by Keith Fletcher. And that one sneaks its way through the center of the ice in front of the goaltender Limezan. Chaska able to poke it back down into the corner. There's Foley trying to reverse direction. Koster takes it away. Koster on the drive. Koster's shot is sent down into the corner. Yes, here come the Red Knights back the other way. It's Rue into the middle. He gets tied up as he tried to drive toward the net. He'll play it, though, behind, now down into the corner. As Koster tried to poke it ahead before he took a shove into the boards. Now played back around the Chaska net. Koster back the other direction for Chaska. He'll send this one through, trying to spring Ethan Benz. Couldn't quite get it to him, though. It's Foley back the other way. Long pass. That'll play its way around the net. As Mortensen gets tied up behind the net, and we're going to have a face-off back deep in the Red Knight zone. A puck played with a high stick, perhaps. So both teams trying to run-up tempo. As the faceoff will be taken by Olmscheid. Come out to the point and just missing on that deflection attempt on the shot by Magnuson. Red Knights back the other direction. Hain gets it down to Newhouse. Play it around the net. Hain with it again. It'll be poked up into the corner. As Clark able to push it up into the near side corner. Hain working his way in. Hain with a shot. They scored! Dylan Hain. 8th goal of the season for Hain. It's 1-0 Benilde St. Margaret's. And coming at 9:40 of the first period. Dylan Hain. Oh, the Red Knights able to weather that early Chaska barrage, then the 5-minute major penalty. Now they have a 1-0 lead as Chaska able to bring it back into the offensive zone. They get it behind them. There's a shot that's saved by Limezan. Dicks into the corner. Back out to the point. Here's a shot by Starkey, and that one goes wide. Warner able to send that one back up top. So Chaska immediately back into the offensive zone. The Red Knights back the other way. 3-on-2 if they hurry. It's loose out front. There's a shot. They score! Ian Barr. It's 2-0 Benilde St. Margaret's. And it'll be Barr's 6th goal of the season. Keep in mind with the quick turnaround, some of these totals didn't quite get updated after last night, so you'll have to forgive me if I miscount here or there. But it'll be Barr's 6th of the season. And it's 2-0 Benilde St. Margaret's. And I think one of the things is that Chaska plays such an aggressive style that leaves a lot of room open the other direction if you're able to get a guy or two running back, and that's kind of how both of these goals have originated. Collins and Newhouse on the assist. Collins into the offensive zone for the Red Knights. He'll send this one wide of the net and behind it, around to the near side. Played around by Landry Cuss. There's Mortensen fighting for it on the far side, opposed by a couple of purple jerseys. Here's a blast. That goes off the back of Norkoski. Sneak through, but held in by the Red Knights. Now sent out to neutral ice and flipped down into the bench. And we'll have a face-off with 5:43 to go here in the first period. Oh, Chaska, who had tried to put on a lot of offensive pressure, perhaps that was what has come to bite them here as the Red Knights on at least one of the goals, if not arguably both of them, been able to spring attackers the other way behind these drawn-in Chaska players and have come away with 2 quick goals here in the mid part of the first period. This one sent in on the near side. The offensive zone is Lavelle. Lavelle gets tied up as he started to drive toward the net. A good job there by Seamus Foley. Sent back toward the blue line, held in by the Hawks. Played behind the net by Lavelle. Hooked up into the corner and getting tied up behind there. Newhouse doing a good job along the end wall. It pops back toward Lavelle, but swept out into neutral zone. Here comes Collins. Collins into the offensive zone. He'll slow it up. Collins down to the near side to Schweitzer. Schweitzer's shot dribbles wide. Might have been tied up at the last moment. Clark down to Schweitzer. Try to get it to Newhouse, coming in down low all by himself, but that one didn't get through. Battle in the far side corner. Bank it around to Newhouse. Collins will try to catch up to it in the near corner. Schweitzer now after it. Opposed by Olmscheid. Lavelle will play it through neutral ice down into the Chaska offensive zone. Clark will try to swing it back the other way. Chaska trying to come out with it. In the offensive zone was Ethan McDonald. McDonald getting tied up behind the net as is Pitlick. Red Knights looking to break back the other way. This will be played through neutral ice. We down toward Coster. Name we hadn't called in a little while. Relatively speaking, as we go under 4 minutes in the first period, as Coster was all over this Chaska offense early on. I think he must have run out of gas a little bit, spent some time on the bench as here they come back into the offensive zone with Rue. He got tied up. Back down to the near side, Coster. Coster will work through neutral ice. We'll have that one poked away, and Charlie Bischel has it. That one, we'll have a slash coming, penalty. And it will be Mike Coster getting the gate for the slash. That's going to be a big loss for these Hawks on the upcoming penalty kill. Well, the Collins will take the face off. We'll get it back out to Hain. Got to Clark. Clark with a shot. They score! Not quite sure if Clark's going to get that or if they're going to say it was tipped in on the rebound. As Foley will head for the bench first. It's a power play goal. It's 3-0. Red Knights with the lead. Jet Johnson will take the face off against Landry Cuss. Chaska into the offensive zone with speed. That's Keith Fletcher. As Limezan covers it up. We'll have to see what the official decision is as Clark took the shot. It was already going to dribble its way past Bach, the goaltender. It's a question of whether Foley got to it before it was a good goal. But either way, it was going to be 3-0. Official announcement is it's Foley's. Clark will play it in the offensive zone. So Foley, for the moment, has his second of the year. Down into the corner. Now on the near side is Fletcher. We'll try to spring that one for Lavelle, but that one got through and we'll have an icing. And a face-off back in the Chaska zone. 2:23 to go, first period. Chaska pushing hard, but these Red Knights more than up to the task. It'll be Peter Keys taking the face-off. It'll be poked up into the corner. We played around by the Hawks. Flip it out to neutral ice. Where Foley will have it, and he'll send it through, trying to spring it for Mortensen, but that one got through. Coster poked away, and then here's a long pass into the offensive zone, but offside. Just by a hair, and that could have, that leaves these fans at the rec center exhaling for sure. Yes, Ethan Benz almost got that one and broke in all alone. Hain will take the face off against Lavelle. Poke toward the net. Newhouse will play it around. McDonald will play it back the other way for Chaska. It gets by Coster. Newhouse toward the net. That shot is blocked, but it ends up caroming back toward Bach, and he has to cover it up. Oh, we'll have another face-off in the Chaska zone with 1:46 remaining in the first period. 3-0 Benilde St. Margaret's. Collins wins the Collins with the face-off, backhand shot blocked out front. Hain won the face-off. Collins came away with it, worked his way into the middle, With Newhouse intercepting the pass. That one pokes its way through, trying to get it to Hain, with a little bit out of his reach. Warner back the other way. This will work its way all the way down as it got by Lavelle. It's Callahan. There's Newhouse through center right. Got it down to Hain, but off of his stick. And offside and a face-off back in the neutral zone with 1:14 to go in the first period. Face-off still loose now, controlled by the Red Knights. So McNeil on the near side. That one taken away. Here's Cuss into the offensive zone. He gets tied up along the far side boards, loses his stick. It's played around by the Red Knights. Battle along the near side boards. Chaska able to poke it down deeper into the offensive zone. Under 45 seconds remaining. It's intercepted by Koster. Koster! That one poked away at the last second or lost control of it. Red Knights back the other way. Johnson into the offensive zone. Johnson toward the net. That one kicked aside. Rebound just out of reach of Barr, looking for his second. Just poked up into the corner. Under 25 seconds to play. Down to the near side, Koster. Koster with a long shot on goal. Rebound caroms out to the Red Knights. We're under 15 seconds to play. Five seconds remaining. Red Knights continuing in their zone. As we come to the end of the first period, the Red Knights dominating on the scoreboard, but it's one of those nights where even with that early 3-goal lead, you don't want to go anywhere. These Hawks are hungry. They're making lots of plays, so they could very easily get right back into this game the way that some of these players are working hard down there. So we'll come to the end of the first period here on the Catholic Sports Network. Red Knights 3, Chaska nothing. We'll take a break. Come back in about 10 minutes with the start of the second period. Welcome back to the St. Louis Park Rec Center here on the Catholic Sports Network as we start to finish up the first intermission. The summary from the first period. Dylan Hain at 9:40 for the Red Knights. That assist from Newhouse. In addition to Clark and Foley. The second goal by Ian Barr. They added Johnson and Foley on that assist. My apologies there. Clark gets the assist on the first goal. And 13:45 was Foley from Clark and Hain. A power play goal, putting the Red Knights up 3-0. I said going to the first intermission, despite this 3-0 lead, not a game that is in hand by any means for the Red Knights. As Chaska playing their trademark, extremely aggressive offense. They've almost had some one-on-one breaks the other way. Almost were able to spring a breakaway attempt, but coming in offsides at the blue line was Benz. The Red Knights back on the ice. Wait for the purple with yellow and white trim to return to the ice. So it's going to be a difficult task for Chaska as they did give up those 3 goals in the first period. And the question is going to continue to be that their style of play is definitely opening them up the other way to odd man rushes and great offensive opportunities for the Red Knights going back the other way. And we'll have to see if Chaska can limit those opportunities a bit more as play moves into the second period. But the Red Knights definitely looking to put the foot on the gas. We'll get ready to start the second period. It'll be Warner taking the face-off for Chaska against Hain for the Red Knights. Face-off in the circle, still loose. Poked back by Chaska. They'll control it with Billy Bronson. They'll send it up to Koster. Trying to get it down the other direction for Warner, but it was intercepted by the Red Knights. Newhouse with it. It pushes down into the zone, and Callahan gets tied up. Puck pokes back out to the far side boards. Collins speeding through the other direction into the offensive zone. Collins trying to work his way around Bronson. That one deflects off the goaltender. It pokes its way back out in front into the neutral zone. Clark able to dump it in for the Red Knights. It'll work its way back around. Koster will pick it up there, send it back for Bronson on the other side. Now up the near side boards comes Chaska. Warner into the offensive zone. Warner with a shot high up into the netting, and I mean really high up into the netting. Oh, a face-off. Looks like it might come out depending on whether they determine whether that shot was deflected or not. It didn't look to me like it was, but they're going to rule that it will be an offensive zone face-off for the Hawks. Put the face-off down to the near side boards. The other way is Kachurik. Schweitzer into the zone. Schweitzer with a shot saved by Justin Bach. Laval poking his way up ahead. Schweitzer will try to play it behind the net, but he gets tied up there. It's loose out front. As Foley banks it off the far side boards, it'll float its way back into the Red Knights offensive zone. As Lavelle will take it away there. Lavelle trying to will pull it up and then dump it in as the Hawks will change. Kasurek up the near side. Minded for Foley. Foley with a blast. It's covered up by Bach, and we'll have a face-off in the Chaska zone with 15:23 to go in the second period. So no signs of this pace slowing down as Keys will take the face-off for the Red Knights. Poked on another corner. Coster will play it around, but it's sent back the other way by McNeil. Now Koski will bank it off the far side end wall as Clark sent that one in, and Bach has to stop it with the pads. It'll be sent all the way down, and that'll go for an icing, and we'll have a face-off once again back in the Chaska zone. Keys will take the face-off again. He wins the face-off against Landry Cuss. Cuss through the neutral zone with it, and he'll dump that one down in deep. Into the far near side corner, it kicks its way back out. That one deflected through traffic. That one might have caught the skate of Coster. Along the far side boards, as Madison Kulik's able to fight his way through it. It's Callahan behind the net, banking it all the way up. As Mortensen trying to chase it down in the offensive zone, he'll get it. He'll throw it toward the net, nobody there. It'll go up into the far side corner. Coster coming through the other way with it. Able to hold the zone. It's going to come loose out front. Norkoski saved and sent up onto the end boards by Bach. A huge save by the struggling goaltender tonight for Chaska. The play moves back down into the Red Knight zone. Collins with Norkoski. Collins with a shot saved by Bach. At the near side, trying to spring that one up to Keith Fletcher, and we'll have a face-off back deep in the Chaska zone. So a lot of those long passes resulting in quite a few icings. That's a lot of offensive zone face-offs that Chaska has to contend with because they're trying to hit those long passes, resulting in icings quite a bit of the time. Works his way around the net. Bronson held in at the point by Schweitzer. There's a shot wide. Collins with it. Poked this one back toward. This works its way around. Foley sent it around off the point. Hain getting tied up in the corner. Back toward Schweitzer, but Chaska will come out with it into the offensive zone. Is McDonald, but he got tied up from behind. Swept out of there by the Red Knights. As Bronson sends it back into the neutral zone. Newhouse, not quite sure where it was as it got stuck right beneath of him. Foley sends that one in deep for the Red Knights. Bronson will play it behind his net. Bring it back the other way for Magnuson. Magnuson out in front of his own net. And the Red Knights putting on some of the aggression as well. Magnuson. No one poked away. Trying to get it up to Hain. Down into the Red Knight zone where Callahan has it. Callahan being chased behind his own net. Out to neutral ice. Newhouse kicks it up ahead for Collins. The offensive zone is John Starkey. Rather, that's Benz, my apologies. Poked down to the near side for Hain. Hain will send this one all the way around. That's right, to force a mistake behind the net is Charlie Bischel. Bischel sends that one back behind the net. It'll play its way around into the far side corner. Bischel will try to come out of there with it. He will. Get that one back up to the point. There's a shot by McNeil. Rebound. Karams out to the near side. Callahan. As Rue will play it back around the net. Flipped out to neutral ice. Able to be slowed up there by Callahan. Maybe getting tied up at the blue line, preventing an offside attempt as there's a shot saved by the goaltender Bach. Bischel working his way in, trying the stick side, but it'll be a glove save. 11:19 to go in the second period. 3-0 Red Knights with the lead. Johnson will take the face-off. Foley will get it back up to the point to Schweitzer. Getting it down low, it's loose out front. Chaska comes away with it. Into the offensive zone with speed is Kulik. Centering feed, it's still loose. No goal as the net coming loose. I might have said, though, there's a great save as Chaska whacking away at it out front. They thought they scored. Limesand able to keep it out of the net as he was pushed back toward it. As Owen Thomas will take the face off. Koster with a shot that goes high over the net. Koster taking it away from far side of the net. He'll work his way back into the middle. Koster send that one off the goal post. They'll have a stoppage and another face-off coming. Be to the right of Limesand. Face-off controlled by the Red Knights behind their own net. Callahan will play it around to Collins. It'll be poked out to neutral ice. It's swept up, but Hain able to hold it in. Now poked out into the neutral zone. As Chaska able to send it back into their defensive zone. Well, they'll possess it there. It's Thomas. Back the other direction with Barrett. Newhouse with it now in his own zone. He'll try to spring that one through to Collins. That'll go all the way down. Bach out of his net to play it. Down to the near side, and McDonald. McDonald trying to get that one through center ice to Warner. Warner trying to fight his way through Hain and Callahan. Newhouse with it now on the near side. Poke it around to Hain. Rather, that's Clark, my apologies. Chaska coming out with a centering feed. It's blocked and it goes up into the netting. Now, as we've said a couple of times, this 3-0 lead should be considered far from comfortable for these Red Knights. Warner will take the face off for Chaska. It's poked up onto the far side boards. Off the shot that's still loose out front. Still loose, and McDonald can't quite get a stick on it. He got tied up by McNeil. Neal trying to push that one up the boards as a big hit put on as Red Knights break back the other way, but it's intercepted by the Hawks. There's Mortensen. He gets tied up by Warner. He's coming loose out front and able to get to it first, but there's McDonald. McDonald whiffed on a shot. Well, he cleared out to neutral ice by Norkowski. McDonald pokes it back toward the neutral zone. Schweitzer sends this one in deep. Hawks play it behind their net. Went up to center ice for Pitlick. Pitlick gets knocked off the puck. And sent in deep as Chaska would have come in offside, and now it comes back the other way. Now in neutral ice once again, Schweitzer. Harassed by a couple of purple jerseys. Now here's Koster with it. Koster gets that knocked off the puck. Down to Lavelle. Lavelle on the near side throws that one up onto the far side boards. Nobody there in the middle. It's Magnuson sends that one deep. Lavelle down into the corner to get it for Chaska. And flip back toward the neutral zone. That one played ahead by Magnuson and now sent back into the Red Knight zone. Clark behind his net. That one goes off of a skate as that one drifts wide as Chaska almost came out of there with a man heading toward the goaltender. He's sent down for an icing and a face-off all the way back in the Red Knight zone. 7:51 to go in the second period. Chaska showing a little bit more urgency. The Cuss taking the face off for Chaska. Foley will take the opposing draw. Poked back to Coster. He holds it in. Plays Brown to the back of the net. Hit behind the net by Warner to his Fletcher. Fletcher still tied up. McNeil comes out with it. He'll look to throw that one up ice. That was intercepted trying to spring Jordan Rue. Coster back the other way into the offensive zone. Coster trying to backhand it. Was swept out of there, trying to get it to Cuss in front of the net. Cuss now behind the net. He tries to take a whack at it. Coster will get it back. Coster working his way in. Coster with a shot saved by Limesand. Mike Coster, the star defenseman. You see there, he kind of floats back and forth. He'll definitely be a major part of this Chaska offense as well. As he takes a seat on the bench. Warner takes the face off for Chaska. Pokes its way backwards, flipped out into the neutral zone, trying to get it up to Collins. And then onside are the Hawks. So now sent back out into the neutral zone, Collins. And you can see as Hain trying to poke it into the offensive zone, Clark. Got to the point I was going to make in a moment. As Callahan took that one toward the net, sent wide. Hain down on the near side in the corner. Penalty coming. But the Red Knights are routinely leaving somebody behind in the neutral zone, knowing that Chaska is playing so aggressively that they're looking to spring somebody the other way. The Red Knights going to go on the power play as Calvin Barrett will get the box. We'll face off deep in the Chaska zone. Down on the near side, Hain. Schweitzer. That one blocked in traffic as this one banks out into the neutral zone. Clark with it. Hain chased down into his own zone. And the tripping penalty putting Barrett in the box. Schweitzer speeding into the offensive zone, leaves it behind him for Collins. Collins with a shot. Saved and held on to just barely. Not quite sure that Bach even knew where that puck had gone as he nervously looked around. Face off back in the... We're going to get a timeout taken here by the Red Knights. Interesting usage of their timeout, perhaps thinking that if they can cash in on this power play that maybe think about putting this game a little bit further out of reach. 6:07 to go here in the second period. Well, I think the Red Knights see it as a very important power play just in terms of giving themselves a little bit more breathing room. I think they've seen how Chaska has played tonight. I think they know this game is not over. Very quick timeout for the Red Knights. They're all ready to go already. And it's been a few words from Ken Pauley saying, well, finish the job, finish off this power play, let's go. And maybe that was the gist of the message. The face-off deep in the Chaska zone. Back the other direction. Foley gets it behind him to Collins. Look at the back up to Hain. Schweitzer back down to Hain. Hain with a shot. It's blocked out front and cleared by the Hawks. 1:15 remaining in the power play. 5:47 in the period. As Hain takes a hit on the near side. And here come the Hawks back the other way into the offensive zone as Benz with a shot that goes well wide off the end wall. Foley gets that one back up to Schweitzer, now down to Collins. Collins sizing things up. Gets it back to Hain. Clark, back to Collins. Hain, that one blocked as he tried to push it toward the center. Warner takes a hit as he tried to gain possession of it. And streaking up the near side as well was Olmscheid. Pass down to Hain. Hain into the offensive zone. Hit along the near side. Koster will push it up into the center, trying to get it down low. And that one goes off the side of the net. Koster behind the net. He gets tied up by Foley. It's loose out front and saved by Limezan. With 1 second remaining in the power play, 4:36 remaining in the second period. 3-0 Red Knights. McNeil will take the face off. Play it around, power play over. Chaska back at full strength. Going back into the offensive zone, Kochurik. Kochurik has that one go through his stick down to the near side boards. Play it around into the bench area in front where Benz into the offensive zone just out of the reach of Lavelle. Johnson up the near side for the Red Knights. That one poked away. It'll go behind the net. Taken away out front and now unable to be held in. And coming in offsides are the Red Knights. A face-off coming outside of the Chaska zone with 4:01 to go in the second period. Tonight's game presented by Cambria. Foley to take Newhouse takes the face-off. Come back into the offensive zone for Chaska with Pitlick. Pitlick trying to center it. That ended up being deflected. There's a shot at traffic. They score! Charlie Goodrich. And Chaska is on the board at 3-1. Perhaps foreseeing that timeout, knowing this game was not over, Red Knights were not able to finish off that power play. Now at the other end, Chaska cashes in. Red Knights trying to control the face-off. Have it in their own zone. Here's Schweitzer banking it off the far side boards. Mortensen will push it down into the offensive zone. And we played around by Bronson. As the glove saved by Bach. No hold on. 3:26 remaining in the second period. Chaska, that desperation finally cashing in a little bit as they cut it to a 3-1 game. Hain will take the face-off against Warner. Koster down there behind the net. Pokes this one around. Went in for a blast to Schweitzer, and that one goes wide. And we played around. Koster behind the net, getting hit by Collins. Wraparound by Hain, trying to come away with that puck, and it's sent all the way out through the neutral zone. Will it go far enough? It will not, and the Red Knights will have to play it in their own zone. That puck just slowing down just enough. Newhouse into the offensive zone, gets it down to Collins. Collins back to Newhouse, and saved by Bach. It's a great job there by the Red Knights, that one of those dynamic duos. As Johnson will take the face-off for the Red Knights. Clark trying to hold it in the offensive zone. It'll work its way around the boards and be poked out to neutral ice. Swept down to Clark on the near side. Send this one into the neutral zone. And tie it up, and then Clark will end up with it in the up high in his own zone. As Johnson tried to make a move into the offensive zone. This will be sent up toward the far side boards. Played around the net. Bank it off the end wall. Johnson, we're playing it around the net. Centering feed, nobody there. Chaska back the other way into the neutral zone. Benz will chase it around the net. Try to tie up Kosurek behind the net. It's Clark with it behind the net. The hit put on, and Chaska will take it away in the neutral zone. They'll bank it off the near side boards. Koster trying to come away with it. Koster getting tied up on the near side in the corner. This one not quite able to be held in by the Hawks. They'll play it in deep. 1:32 to go in the second period. 3-1, Benilde St. Margaret's with the lead. As Limesand has to cover that one. And we'll have a face-off deep in the Red Knight zone. 1:25 remaining in the second period. Warnert will take the face-off for Chaska. Hain will oppose for the Red Knights. It pokes its way out toward the blue line into the neutral zone. Collins trying to force it down into the offensive zone. As Koster there to pick it up at his own blue line. His pass for Warnert was tipped. It's dumped back into the offensive zone for the Red Knights. Hain and Koster up into the corner. Comes around to the near side. Newhouse and Collins end up with it. Collins trying to get tied up by Koster. That one dribbles its way up to the far side of the net. 47 seconds remaining in the second period. And banks off the near side boards. As Warner pushes that one in. McDonald, he gets tied up, and this one flipped out into the neutral zone. Koster will be back to pick it up. Collins chasing right with him. Bronson try to send that one all the way through, and that'll end up in icing. These Chaska defensemen definitely leave it all out there. They are just far more than your typical blue line defenseman. They will get in, they will get dirty, and try to make things happen on offense as well. Not just Koster, but Bronson too. Magnuson, another way, gets it up to Lavelle. Lavelle into the offensive zone. He got tied up. Keys behind the net. Under 10 seconds to play. The puck frozen with 4.3 remaining, and we'll have a face-off in the Red Knight zone with just 4.3 seconds remaining in the second period. Chaska perhaps thinking that got one last shot off this face-off. As Koster will position himself pretty much in that spot that Lavelle on the face-off. They'll get it out to Koster, but it'll go past him into the neutral zone as the second period comes to an end. So I think Chaska got the look they wanted, but unfortunately the face-off directed just a little bit out of the reach of the star defenseman for the Hawks. Well, the only goal in the period scored by Billy Bronson of Chaska, and we'll go to the second intermission here on the Catholic Sports Network with the score, the Red Knights 3 and Chaska 1. We'll be back in about 10 minutes or so with the start of the third period. Hi, everybody. Welcome back to the St. Louis Park Rec Center. 3-1, Benilde St. Margaret's with the lead as we go to the third period. Second period summary, only one goal scorer. That was Billy Bronson for Chaska at 13-11. This game far from over. These Hawks can pile up goals in a hurry. Although the way that they play, fatigue might start to be setting in a little bit with them. They're not kind of let the same guys do a lot of the heavy lifting. The face-off deep in the Chaska zone off the icing. One of those guys, the great junior defenseman Mike Koster, is out there right now. Warner will take the face-off against Hain. Hain will be booted from the face-off circle, and it'll be Newhouse as Collins moves over to take Hain's spot. Play it around to the near side. Poked up into the neutral zone. Clark with it there for the Red Knights. With Chaska, is Bronson able to send that one back the other way around the net. Koster coming in on the near side as well. Collins trying to tie him up. He played around the other direction by Olmscheid. Poked out to the neutral zone where Koster will have it for Chaska. Push it back to Bronson in the Chaska zone. There's Pitlick on the near side. Bach pokes that one up toward Magnuson. Trying to get it down low for Collins, but it was intercepted and taken away by Chaska. Warner into the offensive zone, rather that's Lavelle. Lavelle got knocked off the puck. It rolls around to the near side. Played all the way around. Lavelle will be back to get it there. This Benz up in the corner. He gets tied up by Schweitzer. Chaska, though, able to come away with the puck. It's Olmscheid trying to get it down low. Point blank shot on the goaltender Limes, and he's able to save it. Rolls its way back out to neutral ice. Chaska with it. Barrett into the offensive zone. Barrett with a shot blocked. Goes off the end wall. Back around to the near side. Magnuson with a blast. That deflects up and that lands behind the net. Thought it was going to go up into the netting. Comes around back to the near side. Barr pushes that one up into the neutral zone. It's brought back into the offensive zone by Barrett. Mistake trying to be forced behind the net by Chaska as Johnson played it there. That'll go all the way down for an icing, and we'll have a face-off all the way back in the Red Knight zone. 14:52 to go in the final period of regulation. With Chaska trying to muscle this game back in their favor. It'll be Thomas taking the face-off against McNeil. Mortensen coming the other way for the Red Knights with Norkoski. Norkoski got tied up by Koster at the blue line. Big hit put on behind the net on the end wall. That one gets through, trying to get it up ahead to Kulix, and that'll go for an icing, and we'll have a face-off back in the Chaska end. 14:34 remaining in regulation. 3-1 in favor of the Red Knights. They got up to a brilliant start in the first period, scoring 3 times. Chaska kind of managed to turn things around a little bit in the second, even the pace of play a little bit. Got a late goal from Billy Bronson. This one loose out front. Koster will reverse direction before he gets hit by Norkoski. The play, it's on the far side. Warner with it. Warner pokes it ahead for Koster in the offense. And back to Warner. There's a shot. Rebound. It's still loose. Chaska comes back with it. That one sent off the end wall. Red Knights will play it behind their net. We'll come around to the near side where Starkey couldn't hold it in. We'll have a delayed penalty and a power play coming for Chaska. It'll be Mortensen going to the box. So an important power play, still 13:59 to go in the game. But Chaska a chance to firmly claw themselves right back into this game, down by 2, is off the face-off. It's held in on the near side, now poked out to neutral ice. And Hain into the offensive zone with Collins. Hain trying to get it to Collins, and the redirect misses. Back the other way is Lavelle. 3-on-2, but that puck kind of skipped away ahead of him. Collins might catch up to it in the offensive zone. He'll flip it up and head. Steered aside by the goaltender. Banshee is now in goal for the third period. Ben Banshee, the senior, along the far side boards. So Justin Bach not out there for this important third period. The offensive zone is Lavelle. Back to Koster. Koster will circle. Put one back up high to Warner. Warner with a shot on goal. Rebound blocked. Flip back out into the neutral zone. Koster will skate down to get it, or Banshee's out of his net to play it there. 56 seconds remaining in the power play for the Hawks. Warner will take it through center ice. He'll play it in deep. Bronson on the far side. A big hit put on front of the boards. Is out into the neutral zone. Snorkowski into the offensive zone, but Koster able to take it away from him. Koster down to the near side, and Barrett. Give it back to Koster. 30 seconds remaining in the penalty. Koster into the offensive zone. It's behind him for Bronson. Bronson trying to center it, but that went off the stick of Callahan. We're going to get that one up to the center again, and going the other way is Kosurek. Kosurek in. Kosurek saved. It's loose, and just able to be kept out as it trickled toward the goal line. Bronson, or Banshees didn't know where it was. Bronson able to get his stick on it and keep it out as it was spinning its way toward that goal line. Power play over. Here's a windup for a blast. That'll go up into the netting. Mason Kulix. Haven't talked about him a lot, but he might be the fastest guy out there for either of these teams. There's quite a few speedy guys on this Chaska team. So just missing out on disaster there for the Chaska Hawks. Collins with it. He'll reverse direction in his own zone. He'll send that one into neutral ice. Newhouse with it. Newhouse gets tied up as he tried to drive toward the net. It goes off the side of the net. Into Schweitzer. And get that one up into the middle of the ice, but it slides all the way through. Foley will bank it off the far side boards in front of his bench. Newhouse with it. Newhouse will play this one down in deep behind the net. Collins will put a hit on behind the net. Hain pushes this one up where Collins is tied up from behind by Starkey. Comes Noosed out front. Schweitzer, he scores! Nate Schweitzer with his 5th goal of the season. It's 4-1. So the defenseman for the Red Knights gets a critical goal here in the third. It's a 3-goal lead once again for the Red Knights. Now to the near side. Barr will chase Bronson into the zone. We banked all the way off. This might go down for an icing, and it will. So we'll have a face-off back in the Chaska zone. 10:45 remaining in regulation. 4-1. Red Knights with the lead. Johnson will take the face-off for the Red Knights. Bronson behind his net. Play this one behind his man on the near side. It'll go all the way down into the Red Knights off defensive zone. Barr will bank it off the end wall. And this will be sent all the way down by Clark. And we'll have an icing the other direction. Crowd not quite pleased with how that ended. but it'll be an icing and a face-off back deep in the Red Knight zone. 10:19 remaining in regulation. Now 4-1. Red Knights with the lead. Well, the face-off coming deep in the zone will be Schweitzer against Warner on the face-off. McNeil behind his net will send this one through center ice. It'll go off the stick of Norkoski. Koster back there to play it. Back into the Red Knight zone. Pop its way back out to neutral ice. McDonald will send it to Koster. Koster will leave it for Magnuson. Magnuson back the other direction. He gains the blue line. It's back down to Koster. He tried to get it in the middle to McDonald. It's that long shot by Koster. Snagged with the glove by Limesand, and a face-off deep in the Red Knight zone with 9:34 remaining in regulation. Face-off to the left of Limesand. So down to Magnuson. Koster will send this one in blocked. They'll play it back in their own zone. Koster circling. Up to Magnuson. Leaves it back behind him for Koster. With the red line, it's Fletcher. It's sent back out to Collins. Collins, Hain, back to Collins. Behind the net, Hain getting tied up. Push it up ahead for Collins. Toward the net, they score! It's Collins this time. Might have banked in off the goaltender. But regardless, Joe Collins with his 16th of the season, and this game is 5-1 Red Knights. Center ice face-off. Jet Johnson will take it against Olmscheid. McNeil will play it in deep. Now under 9 minutes to play, 8:52 and counting. Centering feed sneaks all the way through out to neutral ice. Play it in their own zone. They'll bank it off the near side boards. As McNeil comes out with it. McNeil sit up to Johnson in the middle, but now it's behind the net. Lavelle gets it down to the near side. Bronson. Bronson gets tied up at the blue line. Schweitzer. Back to Lavelle in his own zone. Bell getting tied up on the far side by Norkoski. Clark will play it behind his net. Through the neutral zone. With a shot by Barr that goes well wide. Poked back around the net. 7:45 remaining in regulation. Been played into neutral ice. Where Charlie Warner will be there to pick it up. With a Blaine Warner on Chaska and a Charlie Warner on Chaska. This one trying to spring it out to Owen Thomas. That pass was intercepted. I should say Blaine Warner is on Chaska and Charlie is on the Red Knights. So tongue getting caught there. We'll have a penalty coming. Perhaps not, and a face-off just outside of the Chaska zone. Schweitzer dump it in deep. Banshees will play it behind his net. Pitlick with it. Recircle back around his net. Play it back behind him to Barrett. That's Magnuson. Now up to Barrett. Magnuson with it. Trying to get this one through center ice to Thomas, and that'll go all the way down where Schweitzer will play it behind his net. Cross ice pass for Warner, just out of his reach. Hawks with it in their own zone. Coster. He'll circle his way back. He got knocked off the puck at the red line. Here's Thomas into the offensive zone. Thomas trying to work the puck around Foley and took a hit from the Red Knights defenseman. 6:18 remaining in regulation. 5-1, Red Knights with the lead. Foley playing it in the offensive zone. We'll play that one around. Newhouse can't quite hold it in. McNeil will dump this one down to the near side for the Red Knights. As Coster pushes that one back up ahead. As Lavelle got tied up by Newhouse entering the offensive zone. Delayed penalty coming against the Red Knights. As the Red Knights touch up. But a late power play coming for the Hawks. Be Newhouse who goes off. And we'll have a face-off deep in the Red Knight zone. 5:47 remaining. Pretty much an all-or-nothing power play, even with the thought that the Hawks could convert here. Coster. Get it down low to Lavelle. Lavelle couldn't quite get a handle on it. Ended up getting kind of a late shot off and being saved by Limesand. Coster. Back to Magnuson. Magnuson with a shot into traffic. That goes up into the corner. Magnuson can't hold it in. He'll have to play it in the neutral zone. It's back to Coster. 5:15 remaining. 125 in the Newhouse penalty. Lavelle get it back up to Magnuson. Magnuson retreating deeper into his own zone. Set up with Coster at center ice. We'll bring it into the offensive zone. Dump it down into the corner where we played back to Lavelle on the near side. Coster up top. Magnuson with the Coster at the point. Coster working his way in, sent that one into traffic, got through to Limetown. There's a shot off the rebound that's blocked. Hawks come back out with it. Magnuson. Play this one around to the near side to Coster. Back to Magnuson, trying to get it into the middle. It was intercepted by the Red Knights, banked off the far side boards, and flipped up out of play. We'll have a face-off, probably deep in the Red Knight zone. 30 seconds remaining in the Newhouse penalty. 4:17 in regulation. And Chaska playing this power play comparatively conservatively to how they had played the rest of the game, especially considering the circumstances where probably needed a quick goal in order to maintain any semblance of keeping this game within striking distance. 17 seconds remaining in the power play. Getting tied up on the near side was Pitlick. It's dumped back down into the Chaska zone. Erickson will play it there. As Collins ties up Barrett on the far side. Penalty over. Red Knights back at full strength. Hain will chase it down into the offensive zone, opposed by Warnert. Center ice pass for Blaine Warnert. Reverses direction. This is Barrett with it. Barrett will get it back in his own zone. So we're under 3.5 minutes to play. Schweitzer in his own zone, and we'll have an icing call and a face-off deep in the Chaska zone with 3:20 remaining in regulation. We're going to get a penalty against Dylan Hain. Holding was the penalty there. Well, Chaska will go right back to the power play. Down by 4 with 3:20 remaining. That down to Koster. Koster winds up for a blast. The rebound loose out front, cleared out by Ian Barr. 3:10 left in regulation. Koster works his way through center ice. He comes in offside and will have a face-off outside of the Red Knight zone. So looking like it'll be a great rebound victory for the Red Knights, and they can head into their 8 days off between games. They don't see another game until next Saturday when Eden Prairie comes in here. Koster on the near side. Well, Chaska looks like their 5-game win streak will come to an end. They're back at it tomorrow as well. They'll be home against Minneapolis. Koster touches up this one and will have another stoppage of play. But last night, the Red Knights, and it's going to be Collins heading to the box. They're going to have a 5-on-3 for the Hawks with 2:37 remaining in regulation. Although I guess the penalty against Collins will result in the remaining 5-on-4. And Collins now looking like he might be done for the night. With Lavelle into the offensive zone. And cleared out all the way down with a minute remaining in the penalty. So as far as the Red Knights go, a lot to be proud of from these last 2 nights. Last night they weren't able to beat the Skippers. That was certainly not not as lopsided of a game as the score might indicate. That was a game that was 3-3 for the vast majority of the second period. The Minnetonka getting a couple of quick goals late in the second, added on a little bit early in the third. We're under a minute 40 now to play. There was a lot to be proud of for these Red Knights last night, even with that loss, the end of the 6-game winning streak. But they come back tonight, get a big win over a conference rival. Add to their conference point total. They've won 7 out of 8 as this one directed toward her Banshees. It's loose. Rue sends it wide, trying to slap it off the stick of her Banshees. Both teams back at full strength. Into the offensive zone is Pitlick, under a minute to play. It will be another tough test the next time the Red Knights take the ice. Eden Prairie not having the season that they might like to have, but certainly still a very good team with some really good talent. So even with that kind of down year that Lee Smith squad is having, not a team that the Red Knights will want to take lightly when they come in here next Saturday. But we'll have 8 days to think about it. Won't see game action again until then. Chaska, Nordic can take a page from the Red Knights book. They can just wash this taste out of their mouth, and they get back at it tomorrow against Minneapolis. Down into the Chaska zone. Under 10 seconds to play. The Red Knights beat Chaska 5-1 tonight. Big conference win, a good rebound statement victory for the Red Knights, who continue their impressive season turnaround. They move back over 500. They were 4-9-1. Well, they are 11-10-1. After they knock off Chaska this evening. Took a 3-0 lead after the first period. Thought that maybe Chaska might find a way back into it, but the Hawks never really found a way back into it. Held serve through the second period, got one. But the Red Knights right back into it in the third period, picking up 2 more. So for our crew tonight, here on the Catholic Sports Network. Will and Joe, I'm Patrick. Hope you had fun on our doubleheader this evening. Said the next Benilde St. Margaret's games and our telecast won't be until next Saturday evening against Eden Prairie. Again, thank you for tuning in here on the Catholic Sports Network. Have a good night, everybody.